Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Varteta Learning Platform, and today we are going to find out that how to write a program which can identify if a matrix is an identity matrix or not. You know about the identity matrix. If you don't, then let me explain you. Suppose I have a matrix of size 3 by 3. Okay, let me just draw it again because this was not that good. So let me write like this, and this is a matrix of 3 by 3, suppose 3 rows and 3 columns. Okay, so the identity matrix is something whose diagonals are all 1 and rest of the values are all 0. So this is called the identity matrix. We have to find out, we have to write a program to find out whether the matrix that has been written, or you can say the two-dimensional array represents an identity matrix or not. Represents identity matrix or not. I would suggest that you guys should try it yourself first, and after that you should come back to this video and see that how it can be written. This program can be written. Okay, this is a very simple program, but yes, this is I'm just putting one video for this so that we can have an exercise related to the the two-dimensional array concepts and the array concepts for that matter. So let me just show it here. So here I have created a matrix. I have declared a variable for the matrix, two-dimensional array I have declared here. So I will have 3 rows and I will have 3 columns, and I'm just going to pass this array, this matrix, to this is identity matrix function, and it will return boolean, which is a true or false. If the matrix is an identity matrix, then it will return true, otherwise it will return false. So this is the target of our program. So let me just have something added into this matrix first. So first, let us go with the best case where the matrix is an identity matrix, a simple case. So matrix, and it's 0 dot push. You can put it like in the 0 we have to put 1, and in the rest of the 2 I need to push zeros. So let me just copy it, paste it. So here I just need to put it 0, put it 0. So this is the first row, and in the second row, you know that the second column should be 1, right? We just saw this column should be 1 and this column should be 0. Rest of the 2 columns should be 0, and it is true for the second row. This should be the second row situation. I mean the second column in a 3 by 3 matrix, just like we saw here. The second column should be 1, and in the 3 by 3 matrix, the third column should be 1 for the third row. So let me just copy paste it again. Okay, so this is how I have just created a matrix 3 by 3, and in this matrix what we have done, I have placed the values correctly so that it behaves like a 3 by 3 matrix, identity matrix. And we know the logic now, we know the concept now, so we need to write the logic how to find out whether it's a it's an identity matrix or not. So let's start. For where I is equal to 3, sorry, I is equal to 0, I is less than 3, and I plus plus. Okay, then there are 3 columns. So where j is equal to 0, j is smaller than 3, and then j plus plus. So number of columns we also know, so it will be like where j is equal to like this. Okay, so it's not where, it should be for. Now let's start this one. So first thing is, like, if we need to check 2 things. If the row and column position are same, then it should be 0, it should be 1, then it should contain 1. I hope you are getting this. What I'm trying to say is that when you reach here, this is the 0th row and 0th column. If you see this, this is the 0th row and 0th column. Here it is first row and first column. Here it is second row and second column, right? So to identify the diagonals, right, the elements at the diagonal positions in this two-dimensional array, the thing is, like, you can identify that element when the number of row and the number of column is same. The row number and the column number, if both are same, then we are at the diagonal. Okay, so what we will do here, we will check the first thing here. If I is equal to j, then you need to use this triple equals. You need to make it a practice to use the triple equal in case you are taking care of value plus the type, data type, both. In that case, this is the good practice to use the triple equals. So now let me just check it. If I is equal to j, then if array I and then j is not equal to 1, then it means that our matrix is not an identity matrix and just return false from here. That's it. Now, if array, or you can say like else condition, right? Else condition. Else mean any other condition where I is not equal to j, which means you are taking care of other elements, right? You are taking care of other elements like this element, this element, this element, this element. So apart from diagonal, any other element should be 0. So in the else condition, all the elements apart from diagonals are getting covered. So sorry, it should not be here. This else should be here. Okay. So this else need to be here. I just need to put it like this. And here I need to write my logic. If here I and j is not equal to 0, then return false from here. Okay. So at any point of time, if I is equal to j, then the diagonal value, which means the diagonal value we are identifying, then in that case, the diagonal value should contain 1. If it doesn't contain 1, then it returns false. And in the other conditions where I is not equal to j, which means we are taking care of other elements which doesn't fall under the diagonal, in that case it should be only 0. If it is not 0, then we are returning false. But if we never hit this, then in that condition we are done with this for loop, both the for loops, the outer for loop, and in that condition from here I need to return true. Okay, I hope you are getting the point. So here I just need to write, like, when we are calling this function is identity matrix and we are passing this matrix. Which matrix? This matrix that I have declared on the top. This matrix that I have declared on the top, I'm passing this matrix to this value, to this function is identity matrix, right? So if you pass the arrays, you just need to put the name here, nothing else you need to do. So here what I will do, I'm just going to declare a variable b and boolean is equal to is identity matrix. Then just write like if b is equal to false, then you need to print console.log. The matrix is not an identity matrix, and else if it is true, then in that case obviously you know what you need to print. Console.log, the matrix is an identity matrix. That's it. So let's run it and let's see what happens. So tsc, sorry, let me clean it. then tsc testscript.ts. Let's run it. Let's compile it first, and then using the node command we will run it. Node, this one. The matrix is an identity matrix. We know that it's an identity matrix because this we have declared it correctly. Now let's do one thing. Let us make this like this, and let's make it 1 here. Then in that case, when you will compile and run it, then it should print like this is not an identity matrix. See, the matrix is not an identity matrix. Let's put some other values here. 1 1 1. Let's put everything as 1. Then what will happen? Let's see. Matrix is not an identity matrix. And let me tell you, this is not the complete question. Find if the matrix is an identity matrix. In fact, it should be like find if the matrix is an identity matrix for multiplication operation on matrices. Okay, so this is the complete question. Sorry, that was my bad. So I hope now you understood. This is an identity matrix for the multiplication, and for the addition, what kind of it should be? What will be the identity matrix in case you are using the addition operation? Then in that case, everything should be 0. What does it mean by identity? Identity means if you add something to it, if you are performing some operation, like operation can be addition, multiplication, anything, right? So if you are performing any operation, then it should return the original value. A plus any operation should A, right? Or you can say like A operation identity should come out to be A, right? So if this operation is multiplication, then it should be like 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. But if this operation is plus operation, then it need to be all zeros, right? Because when you add two matrices, then after addition of the matrix with this one, then only you will be able to get A. Suppose A is the matrix which is represented by some other matrix other than this, and if you perform the addition with this matrix, then only you will get back A in case of matrix addition, right? So what we have discussed here, what we tried to find out here, that was the matrix which is an identity matrix with respect to the multiplication operation. I hope you got the point, and I hope this was a very simple example, like how to work with the two-dimensional arrays, right? So I can give you one exercise, like rather than using this, just use the array object for two-dimensional array and try to run this program, or try to rewrite your program by your own. Okay, so this will be your exercise, and if you find any problems with your exercise, you can put the question in the comment section and we will try to resolve that. And that's it for today, and in the next video you will see some other concepts related to the arrays. Until then, have a nice day and bye bye.